Good morning. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Market with your pre-opening grain and livestock comments for today, Friday, September 12th, 2025. It's the USDA day. A month ago, we made our contract lows in D's corn. We got all that bearish news dumped on us. We hit 392. So to be sitting here at 421, is that a victory? Everybody's got their own opinion, but we certainly need more. Can the USDA give us a surprise today? Can we go fill the July 3rd, July 4th gap? There's a gap up there that gets filled at 432 and three quarters. The old high we'd have to take out would be around 420, 430. So I'd say the gap's from 430 and a quarter to 432 and three quarters. That's what the gap is. And they're trading right here at 21. So is it possible? Sure, anything's possible. Whatever your risk is, make sure that you've got something on the books to protect yourself with these shorter dated options. You don't have to go out and buy a whole ton of time. You could do something for a week. You could do something for 2 weeks. I would look at these October options. They give us 15 days worth of protection. And again, why would you want that? Well, because if you're worried about corn, uh, either going sharply higher or sharply lower, whatever your risk is, you can get some protection on here to cover yourself in case we pop and that pop hurts you. For most people listening to this, you're farmers, right? So what we don't want to see is go back down to 390, and don't want to go certainly go any lower than that. So you could defend against those prices now. Again, a hedge is what we do when we don't know what's going to happen. If you want to take someone's advice, if you want to have a look at a crystal ball and say, yes, my system says we're going here, or I had a dream and we're going here, that's great. That's your prerogative. But the rest of us, we will hedge. If we're looking at November beans as well, hanging in there overnight, down a half cent, 1033. Again, what numbers matter there? Well, we remember we had a pretty good rally after the last USDA on the 12th. You go back there, actually on April 6th, we traded 981, but on the 12th, we had a pretty good rally. We went from 994, and then in a week and a half later, we were at 1062. So the last time the USDA spoke, it helped beans. And then since then, we've come back here. I think the key level to watch, it's no big secret. This 1021 and a half, it's halfway back of that move. That last move from 983 basically up to 1062. So that's key, and we will see. Will the USDA give us some more good news? Will the yields be lower? Will they adjust something? We will have to see. And move over to wheat. No, there's no two ways about it. The whole world is storing wheat. Everybody's growing a big wheat crop. Nobody thinks that any farmers in Europe are going to sell wheat because, again, just like them, just like us, they look at the charts. They see that we're near we are in our contract lows, flirting with 1 year to 5 year lows, depending on which contract you're looking at. We're within a stone's throw of 5 year lows for wheat. So if you're going to store it, don't store it and ignore it. Keep a cheap put under it because anybody out there that promises you that, oh, don't worry, you can't do this, or don't worry, don't do that, just ask them, will they cut you a check if their opinion's wrong? So if you want to defend the value of what you got, I would keep a cheap floor under it. That's all I have to say about that. Now, if you're an end user, if you're someone that, every month you're buying thousands of bushels of wheat, hey, they're giving you a gift here. Uh, what's the gift? The gift is nobody wants calls down here when we're at 5 year lows. And if there is a surprise, the calls will benefit. Calls go up if the price of the underlying instrument goes up. So whatever your risk is, get something on here for this USDA report. It may be a good decision. Again, anybody that can promise you what's going to happen, I would take that all with a grain of salt. Nobody knows. I've been doing this in one way, shape, or form since 1991, and I've been through thousands of reports, thousands of government reports, and every time, what you have to do is either react very quickly when the number comes out, or have some sort of exit plan on before the report so that you don't get hurt if your opinion is wrong. Let's finish up with live cattle, feeder cattle, and the protein complex. Again, we're probably going to react to whatever happens to USDA today. We've had a small correction and then a good bounce. Now, every bounce that we've had in the last 10 months with cattle, we've turned around and, after a correction, we've continued to go higher. I would say that if this cattle market has taught anybody anything, it's the fact that if you're going to hedge, lots of times you're better off using a put option than a futures option, because the futures, you set the floor and then that's it. Use From then on, you can't make any more money in the cash market because you're sending in a margin on your future short. If you're using a put, yeah, you pay for the put. There's a cost associated with it. But then you have your floor. But then if the flat price continues to go higher, you're not making margin calls, and you're benefiting in the cash market. So if you've got the animals in the pen or in the field, what you want is a floor. You want to keep the upside open. That's my takeaway from the whole thing with cattle and protein, and not only the last 10 months, but really the last since COVID. That has been the strategy. Yes, we've had corrections. Yes, there have been times when you're like, oh my goodness, where's the bottom going to be? But the overall big picture rally has been, the most impressive bull market we've seen in history in the cattle market. So hopefully today's a good day for you. It's Friday. If you've got risk, get your risk on paper. If you need help, give me a call, 312-638-8868. Chris Robinson. Have a great day.